Stripe this week unveiled a new way for merchants to sell goods on multiple different platforms natively without having to jump back and forth between mobile web versions. This could take out a huge headache for companies that are looking to sell their products on services like Twitter. We caught up with Stripe's John Collison at the company's first press event.
So today we're introducing a new product. It's called Relay, and it really sets out to do two things. The first is to make it easy for sellers or stores or any e-commerce business to start selling in other apps. And you may be like, other apps, what does that even mean? Well, an example of this is Twitter's Buy Now, and so you can make your products directly purchasable from within tweets. And when you think about it, that's a much nicer experience rather than having to go through your whole web flow where someone discovers your product on Twitter, they click into it, they go through 6 or 8 steps of an e-commerce checkout and shopping cart. They can just hit buy and get it right then and there in Twitter.
So if I'm a merchant and I sign up through
Relay.
Relay.
So you sign up for Relay and you can sell on Twitter, ShopStyle, Spring, and InMobi are the 4 launch partners we're launching today. But of course we expect more apps over time in that e-commerce businesses should not have to integrate separately for all these different platforms they want to sell on, and so it gives them one thing they can integrate against and then sell in multiple places. We have merchants already on the platform. Our launch merchants include Warby Parker, Saks Fifth Avenue, and some cool merchants like that.
So why don't you walk us through the origin story of something like this?
Sure.
I know that in 2012 you guys had a similar experience where you were sort of dealing with a certain clunkiness, and that's what inspired you guys, right?
What gets us thinking is when a number of users come to us with the same problem, and I guess there were 2 problems we were really seeing here. One is all the e-commerce businesses we talk to, their conversion numbers on mobile are really rough. 60% of browsing happens on mobile devices and like 15% of purchases. It performs really badly, and you can see why, right? The shopping cart and that whole e-commerce experience, it's desktop sized. It's designed for when you have half an hour free and you're clicking around on your computer in your living room. When you have 2 minutes and you're waiting for the bus, you have time to maybe, okay, I'll buy something, but you don't have time to go through that giant obstacle course of the web checkout. And if you're going to make a compelling buy now product, you need to work across hundreds, thousands of merchants, and so all those merchants need to be able to integrate against it. And this is what Stripe does, and what we aim to be good at is we provide APIs. We make it really easy for you to integrate what you need to get up and running. And so it seemed like a natural fit for us to provide tools in this space.
So when you guys were building this, what were some of the things that you're thinking about in terms of it having broader implications for just the internet as a whole?
One thing that we knew would be necessary was for it to work across a broad range of sizes, and so if you're a very large top-tier merchant, you need to be able to plug this into your existing system without rebuilding the whole system. Like, it needs to work nicely with what people have already. But on the other hand, if you're just starting out, or if you're a small merchant, or if you want like a lightweight integration path, this needs to work for you too.
And I know that you guys have talked about increasing the GDP of the internet. Like, how does something like this kind of go towards that goal?
I think a lot of us have this behavior where we use our mobile phones to browse, and then when we actually need to do something like go buy something, we wait till we're at our computer. And that's sort of unnecessary. We only do that because it's so hard right now, and we would like to help fix that. So we see this increasing the GDP of the mobile internet, really, where more transactions start happening on mobile because it's easy for kind of you and me to buy stuff.
And so was there a moment for you where you just realized that, like, oh my God, we have to build this? Like, there was some shopping experience you had?
There wasn't any, it doesn't make for a good founding myth, there wasn't any single moment, but it was a slow burn in, over the past 5 years as, more and more traffic has moved from desktop to mobile devices, and as we just kept having these conversations over and over again, where people would say, can you help us optimize our mobile checkout? Because, the numbers really suck right now. I think we just kind of kept accumulating more data, and we're like, okay, there's probably a good product to be built here.